What's going on, FG fam? Welcome to another episode of the St. Louis Rams franchise here on Madden 21 Current Gen. And in case you missed it, last Thursday was a double off-season live stream with this franchise as well as the Cincinnati Bengal franchise. So if you want to see a link to the original live stream and watch the whole thing through, I will have that in the description as well as on the end screen of the video so you can check it out. But the first big news of that off-season live stream as we get into the recap is Andrew Whitworth retiring. Our best offensive lineman calls it quits after 16 years in the league. It's not a surprise, but it was a sad moment. Not somebody I wanted to lose, as once again, he was our best offensive lineman. I would have loved to have kept him for one more season just to have time to beef up the offensive line next offseason in preparation, but it looks like we're going to have to find a way to get the offensive line better this offseason. So would we be able to do that? Well, that's among the things we are going to find out in this offseason live stream recap as we take a look leading up to the preseason of what moves were made in the offseason, maybe some things that chat decided, maybe some upgrades, and of course, free agency and the draft. Tevin Coleman was a guy we were looking to resign, and really, we didn't want to give out a ton of money for him because halfbacks are a dime a dozen in this game. There's really a ton of them to pick up every single preseason free agency, so I was willing to offer him $3 million to come back for a season at no bonus, but he wasn't willing to take the contract. Andy Dalton was a guy we had as an extra quarterback. He saw no playing time for us, but it was just in case Jamal Carter had gotten hurt because I didn't want to get Jared Goff touching the field, and Andy Dalton would not accept another contract to the team either. James Bradbury was another guy to bring back possibly for 1 year, $4.44 million. I thought maybe I would try to get him for a little bit less guaranteed money in case maybe he didn't make the final roster, but trying to give him no guaranteed money did not work at all. So James Bradbury would hit the market in free agency. Alex Anzalone played pretty well, but he ended up getting overtaken at the end of the season by Kamu Grugier-Hill, who played far better than him towards the end of the year and really helped us make a playoff push last season. So $2.5 million at no bonus wasn't something he was prepared to accept, so he hit free agency as well. Joseph Noteboom, a 27-year-old left guard, pretty prime of his career. I don't think he's going to get too much better, but he didn't accept our contract either, and, we're not all that sad about it. Brian Allen, a 66 overall center, 26 years old, coming off of his rookie deal. This is a guy that I wanted to keep around for a little while longer, but again, no big money commitments to guys like that, and he wasn't willing to accept. Takk McKinley we picked up in preseason free agency last year, gave him exactly what he was looking for in a contract, a 3-year, $34.8 million deal. So Takk McKinley's deal will be up when he's 29 years old. I think that's just perfect. Right outside linebacker, DeAndre Brazil at 23 years old. I was willing to offer him a 5-year deal, but no real guaranteed money involved in it, just $250,000 per year, and he really wasn't interested in signing for that amount of money. Then came the wide receivers, starting with Jeremy Burley, who played extremely well last season. Definitely a guy I want to bring back. He's one of the better slot options on our team at the present time, and I'd love to bring him back for that price of 5 years, $2,750,000 bonus, but he wasn't interested in signing for it. I think we'll go after him in free agency if we can. Larry Hall is the star development wide receiver who we picked up as a UDFA, 24 years old. I still think he has very good potential, but again, being the type of GM that I am, not really willing to give the guaranteed money away, he would go ahead and reject that contract. Colby McCauley at 23 years old, left guard, 69 overall. He was a UDFA as well, and a pretty good one we would like to bring back and kind of get locked up as probably a potential permanent backup, but he would like to play for a new team next year, not accepting our deal. Jamal Carter is a guy we had to bring back, and we would go back to him later on. Greg Scandrick, he was a UDFA and a star development one, no less. $2 million is what I was willing to give him for one season, but we would extrapolate that contract out to 5 years, $2 million, no bonus, and he wasn't into it. So maybe we'll get him later on, who knows? Really, he was just a practice squad player. Same with Trent Sherman, a practice squad UDFA from last year out of UConn. That is a guy I would have liked to bring back as well, see if he could actually make the roster this year as a 66 overall. Lord knows we would need some offensive linemen, but he just was not interested in the very low ball offer he was offered. That's when we got brought back to Jamal Carter. I offered him a pretty legit contract, but he wasn't willing to accept, and the franchise tag being $36.4 million was not going to happen. The next big move that needed to be made was seeing who we wanted to trade away. We put Jared Goff on the trade block to see if he would garner any attention from other teams. Tyler Higbee was a guy that I thought maybe would be possible that we could move on from. I really liked our tight end room, and Higbee's contract's coming up. He's not getting any younger, so we'll put him on the block and just see what offers come through. Continually looking, Rob Havenstein, the best offensive lineman we have on the team. As you can see, the offensive line quite abysmal going forward in this franchise. Currently, our best one, if we were to get rid of Havenstein, would be Washington, who we drafted last season, and he was very much penalized last year. But we're going to just see what Havenstein would bring, as he is in the final year of his contract as a 30-year-old player. Michael Brocker's another guy in the final year of his contract, making $10.8 million, and we just committed a ton of money to Tack McKinley over 3 years. So I want to see what Brockers would bring for us as far as offers are concerned. And I really don't have any plans of trading most of those guys, with the exception of Jared Goff, obviously. I like our outside linebacking is getting better, I think, year by year. Alex Peterson and Darren Boston, good players. Now that we know that Kamu Grugier-Hill is our best option at middle linebacker, who knows what happens with Jatavis Brown? He did get hurt last season. We'll add him to the trade block and see if he garners any attention, making $2.72 million this year. It is money we could possibly save. Looking at our corner room, I'd like to bring in another guy to go along with Jalen Ramsey, who isn't David Long, because he is better suited as a slot corner. I love the safeties on the team. Punters are looking good, and it is time to check out what was available during the free agency period. And wow, was it a good free agency period. Saquon Barkley was available. Of course, the Giants were trying hard to bring him back to the G-men, but we did not need a running back. Baker Mayfield was available, getting no offers at the quarterback position, but Jamal Carter was priority number one. He played very, very well for us, and we wanted to put an offer on the table for Jamal Carter right away, hoping that we could give him less money than he was going to get had he signed in the re-signing period. But still, $2.5 million salary, a $1 million bonus for 5 straight years. That's not bad. It gives him a decent amount of points, but quarterbacks never get the points that they want just because they ask for so much money. Now, Jeremy Burley, another option. We put a low ball option on Jeremy Burley to see if he will come back to the squad. Same thing, Larry Hall. No, none of these guys garnering any offers at the present time. Cap room in the league is a little messed up. I don't know why that is. I did go from a 32-team franchise control to now just controlling the Rams. I just wanted to let everybody know that as well, and I let everyone on stream know that as well, just because this series is not getting the views that Bengals is, so I don't want to put it as extreme of work as I had been doing, just to free up time to do other things as well and plan the next thing coming to the channel. Ryan Jensen was another guy that we wanted to bring in at center. 83 overall, 31 years old, but hey, for a couple of years, he could be a really good center in the middle of the offensive line. DeAndre Brazil, of course, we went to go get him back to the squad immediately. That was definitely something that was on our priority list, so we give him an offer as well. Now, with some excess money we may have, Jair Alexander is somebody we could offer to and still have $18 million in cap room. So we went ahead, put the offer on a 25-year-old corner to try to pair with Jalen Ramsey, and then found Leighton Vander Esch. If we want to really beef up this defense, picking up two really top-flight free agents in this defensive free agency class could really make us a far better defensive squad. And we lost a lot of close games last year. If you recall, there were a lot of games in the 20s, high 20s, maybe even low 30s. If we could just give up around 20 points a game, we can win a lot of those games. So, Jair Alexander and Leighton Vander Esch both accept their contract offers, and man, that is going to make the defense that much better. This defense should be incredible next year. I'm hoping that our defense takes that step forward. DeAndre Brazil and Jeremy Burley accept their contracts the next week. So Jeremy Burley getting a pretty lowball offer of $950,000 over the next 5 years. We'll see if we can develop him into something really good. Now, we were also trying to bring in guys like Ronald Jones, Connor Williams, Larry Hall, Jamal Carter. All of those guys decline our offers, and they do not end up signing with us before the draft. We do get Connor Williams. Connor Williams does sign, so beefing up the offensive line with Connor Williams, which was the best that we could do, as Jensen went to a different squad. Rob Havenstein was getting some offers, but I really did not enjoy any of the offers being brought to the table for Havenstein. A second-round pick with the Giants was the closest I came to actually pulling a trigger on any of these trades, but wasn't something I really wanted to do. Now, Michael Brockers got a couple of offers, Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles willing to give a this year's 3rd and 7th round pick, and Chat said go for it. So we went ahead and made the deal. Michael Brockers off the team. Then we got Jared Goff off of here with a next year's 7th round pick for a this year 2 and a this year 5 from the Indianapolis Colts, who are looking for a new starting quarterback. Jacoby Brissett being in the high 60s, low 70s, I believe. So Jared Goff gives them a starting quarterback option. Jared Goff happy to get that opportunity to be able to start at quarterback again. So looking at our total signings for free agency, Jair Alexander, Leighton Vander Esch, Connor Williams, DeAndre Brazil, and Jeremy Burley. Everyone else declined or went somewhere else, and we'll take a look. Top quarterback that actually accepted a contract was Paxton Lynch. That's weird. Saquon Barkley, Rashad Penny find new teams. Fullbacks got signed over quarterbacks in this free agency. James Washington, the only receiver to get signed. He gets signed by Buffalo on a pretty cheap contract. Dallas Goedert, the only tight end to get signed. He's going to go to New Orleans on a 76-point deal. Not too bad. Jason Kelsey and Ryan Jensen, two guys that we would have tried to target, decided to jump ship right away. And Mitchell Schwartz is coming to the division, but not to us. He's going to Seattle. That is a big pickup for them. They need offensive line, and they got a piece. At defensive tackle, a lot of guys changing teams in the interior defense department. B.J. Hill's going to the Cardinals at right end. Okwara gets a deal. Even Deion Jordan got a deal. You know who didn't? Baker Mayfield. Rashaan Evans is going to go to the Cardinals as well. Cardinals spending some good money on the defensive front seven. Oloakin going to the Eagles, Tavon Young to the Giants, Kevin King to the Jets. So the two big corners in free agency other than Jair Alexander, both going to New York. Justin Reed is going to Philadelphia. Don't know where they're coming up with the money for this, but Harrison Smith will become a Kansas City Chief with HaHa Clinton Dix going to Dallas. Kickers, not a ton to really talk about, and no punters were signed. So going into the draft, this is our arsenal of draft picks. Pick number 14, 46, 60 from the Colts. We got 77 from the Eagles, 78, 87 from the Ravens, and a couple of 5th-round picks along with a 7th-round pick from Philadelphia. So, enough of an arsenal of picks to really make the team a bit better here in the draft. And at pick number 14, the top quarterback available falls down to us. I was elated to be able to draft Scott Murray, who is a user player, I believe. 76 strong arm quarterback. He is not a scrambler. His build was, I believe weakness was like speed or something. So yeah, he cannot run, but man, does he have a cannon. 98 throw power. He's got 79 deep, 80 short, 79 awareness, 87 throw on the run. The thing is, he can't really run, but he can break sack, he can throw under pressure, he's got to get that play action a little bit better, and of course the medium accuracy as a whole. But 34 speed isn't going to be throwing on the run anytime soon because he really can't go anywhere. Then in the second round, at pick 14 in the second round, we were looking at another user prospect. A really good one here in Mikael Hart. He fell down to us out of Missouri in the 5'10", 237-pound power back with 88 speed, 88 agility, 88 carrying. He's got good break tackle, awesome trucking at 94. He can be the perfect complement to Cam Akers' speed. Mikael Hart could be that power back that we would have been looking for to run that thunder and lightning type of running game to really help out whoever happens to be under center. Now, yes, Scott Murray was drafted in the first round. That doesn't mean he'll be the starting quarterback, but right tackle David Luck was drafted at pick 45 or pick 60, and he's valued at pick 45, so we get a good value there. David Luck, 6'8", heavy. He's a big boy up front, 89 strength. He's pretty darn good in the run block. Pass block needs a little bit of work, but he does have power in both the passing and running game. Then into the third round at pick number 13, as we were looking to see what would be available. Kevin Montgomery, the center, available there. We take him at number 77. He's valued at 64, valued as a low second round pick. Kevin Montgomery doesn't quite fit the scheme, but he's not too far off. So if we can get him to get some upgrade points, feed him into that agile build, he can really get a little bit better where we need him to and start to fit our scheme. 90 strength is nice. Montgomery might be moving out to tackle. Now, defensive tackle Darrell Cage was another guy that we wanted to get here at pick 78. He's valued at 40, 6'3", 304, 21-year-old defensive tackle. He's a 72, normal development, but man, 87 strength. He's got 83 power moves. He can tackle. He accelerates pretty well. He's got enough speed. Just got to up that awareness, maybe give him a little bit more play rec and block shedding as well so that he can get right through that offensive line. He does have a swim move, which is pretty good. And Darrell Cage, he'll factor to fight to be that number 2 D tackle behind Aaron Donald if we continue to go with a 4-3. We may go multiple here. Von Broyles, a 6'5", 328-pound left tackle out of South Carolina. That's a guy we're looking at, but this is the one that is considered the reach. We take him at 87. He's valued in the hundreds. He's got some strength, and he can block a little bit, but he's going to have to learn on the pass blocking end. His technique there isn't the best. Late round valuation, Abram Hill was a guy we were looking at, and we take him at 142, but he's ranked 57. Adding another linebacker to this defense, 6'3", 230 pounds, 21 years old, a 71 overall, but he is fast. Pursuit is really good. Run stopping is going to be very good for Abram Hill. Can he cover? Probably not. Deontay Sasser was available late in this draft, 156th overall. but he's valued at 73. Another pretty darn good pick from this Rams draft. 86 speed, he can tackle well, he hits well. Strength is there, acceleration, pursuit, who knows? Maybe he can find himself at defensive end one of these days, but he's got to learn some more technique. So 13th pick in the 7th round, we were looking to trade away. Nobody left on our board, so Philadelphia offered a next year 6th, and we took it. So recap of our draft, 76 overalls at the top in the 1st and 2nd round. We get luck with our 2nd pick in the 2nd round, and then those 3 third-round picks, all low 70s players. Pretty good draft. The worst one that we had was Von Broyles at a 66 overall, and I still think there's some value to his game that we can use here in St. Louis. Ravens got a nice steal in the 4th round. In Brown, they also get Landon Twigg as their first pick. Alonzo Franklin, 76 overall. A lot of normal developments. You'll notice that. There's Michael McHugh, the corner. He is going to the New Orleans Saints. We'll see if we end up taking them on this year. Seattle gets nobody really good. Alex King is a nice hidden dev quarterback. And then Ernie Long, not a bad couple of picks for the Steelers. Ginger Jacobs is a Houston Texan. Josh Dubose going to the Titans with Harry Ingram and Sterling Clark. So they get a couple of really nice picks at the top of their draft. Kalen Green, 73. Nothing too amazing there. Bears get nothing much. To the Bengals, they get Antonio Davis. They get Jackie West, a very good player, going to Cincinnati. So who knows? They may be able to do some things there. Zhao Li Wang will be going to the Bills. Very nice 3rd round pick for Buffalo. Derek Watson, the right tackle, going to Denver in the 1st round. They had 2 1st round picks, and they were both very solid picks for Denver. JP George, a hidden dev rookie in the 2nd round. So Denver did pretty well. Tommy Lee will become a Cleveland Brown, as they do not have Baker Mayfield anymore. Remember, they couldn't afford him. So it will now be Tommy Lee starting for them. Kenya Barnes for the Bucks. There's Gustavo Pla. He gets to be the very first draft pick of the London Bulldogs. That's right, the Chargers decided to move as soon as I exited off of control from them. I don't know how that was possible. I exited off of control in, I believe, after Super Bowl week. It should not have been possible for them to request relocation that quickly, but alas, we have the London Bulldogs. Louis Elvey and Josh Carr going to the Dolphins. They get a nice little steal in Nate Terrell as well. Eagles' first few picks were all pretty good. Devin Kidd, there's Kitchen, Deontay Borden, all good picks. Jaden Rodriguez, pretty sure he was a user, and he's a very good one at pick 15. Calvin McMichael was also a user. 2 very good ones going to ATL. Anthony Weaver, he may have been a user. He is going to Washington. And then Tyquan Woodley, very nice pick at 29th overall for the Giants. The Jags get Lyle Gaithers. He is a very good pick, as well as Demetrius Hardison. Jets get 277 overalls in the 1st round. Normal developments, but man, really good players. TJ Griffin going to the Lions with Mitchell Andrews, so they boost their offensive line. Packers really didn't get anything of any worth. Timmy Baldwin, very good pick, along with Robert Wynn for the Panthers. They get a couple really good picks at the top. Patriots don't get much, and the Raiders get a couple of good picks at the top as well. If you guys want to be in next year's draft class, now is going to be the time to submit. Make sure that you follow the template in the description, as well as possibly the pinned comment if I can get to that. But make sure you check the description for the template. Follow it exactly, or you will not be in. All right, we go ahead here looking at all these UDFAs getting picked up, and mostly we just went after our own guys. But we did find some gems, like Gregory Goldman there, the hidden dev. Now, of course, the computer gets first crack at the UDFAs, and Baker Mayfield is going to be going to the Washington football team for only $4.5 million. Please tell me how they got that done. If anyone knows how they were able to get that good of a deal, let me know. Now check this play. Hey! Hey! So Scott Murray, will he be the starting quarterback? I don't know. We took him into practice. He looked pretty darn good, but also having picked up Jamal Carter as a UDFA, well, not a UDF. Well, yeah, we picked him up as a UDFA last year, but we picked him up in preseason free agency this year. We got him back on the roster. Jamal Carter will have just as much of a chance to win the starting job. For those wondering what my slider set is set at, it is all Madden, and this is what it is. So if you are looking for a slider set for current gen, this is what I'm using here in the St. Louis Rams franchise. There were a few people who asked it during the stream, so I figured I'd show you guys. This is what I have on all Madden. So you guys can put that into your systems if you want to play like me. And we are getting ready for the preseason of the St. Louis Rams franchise. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you let me know any comments below. Who would you want to see starting? Who do you think is the best draft pick? Are you excited if you submitted a player where you ended up going? Do you want to see us play your player? Maybe we will. Who knows? Let me know in the comments section, as well as dropping a like on this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. For the love of franchise content, it's literally all we do here, and we can build a winner together. And if you want to see more franchise, make sure you click right here to see some more franchise.